Hello everybody, this is Justin the Snap-on Junkie. Today I'm going to do a video demonstrating how turbo sockets work and like what their advantages and everything is. So we're over here again, this little test rig I made up. I figured it was probably the best way to show you guys. So I have three different style bolts here to show you how you can use these turbo sockets. And what turbo sockets are is they're always going to be like the black oxide ones that I believe that they're impact rated. Don't quote me. I'm not 100% sure, but I know you can use them with an impact. And what turbo sockets are is they're these sockets that have these twin fluted, that's kind of fluted. It's got a twist to it, okay? And what these are for is to get out rounded bolts or nuts. You can get them. They do make these in deep well. At least Snap-on does. I have a set on order. They haven't came in. But so you can get deep and shallow turbo sockets. So what I did is I'm just going to show you some of the advantages of these things and how they work. So what I did is I put this bolt in here, okay, and then I filed the edges off to show you like it was rounded off. And I had to file it pretty much to get the Snap-on socket not to fit. And this is a 6-point socket with a 12-point. It'll take less rounding before you get fucked up. So as you can see, you can put your regular socket on there and you can turn it and there's nothing to grip, okay? And this was a regular 9/16 bolt, so 3/8 style bolt, which is probably pretty common. So what you want to do with your turbo sockets, okay, is you want to get one that fits the original fastener. And what I mean by that is if it's a 9/16 or quarter, these things will be marked about what size they are. And sometimes they'll have dual markings, like if they're for metric and standard. Like the 3/4 one says 3/4-19. So that means it can be used on, two different sizes. So what you want to do is get your turbo socket. And these things are pretty thick. So you got to have good access to the bolt, And then what you want to do is you take you take a hammer or whatever. I'm just showing you. This is just an 8-ounce ball peen, so it doesn't take much pressure, okay? And then you just tap it on there, okay? You don't have to tap it on very hard because when you go to, the twist in there will help tap it on. Or, when you're tapping it on, it'll twist in there and seat in your thing. So then you just take your ratchet or whatever, okay, or your impact gun, and you can spin these out. So you can see that we got it spun out, we got it broke loose, okay, and you screw it out here. Sorry the bolt's so long. Okay. And then what you do is how you get this out. Now some sets come with like a little drive tool that goes in there. It gets it out. Okay, you can use that. Like the Snap-on sets do not come with this. So I just use a punch, and then you can just, hit it out, and now you got your bolt out. And you can see that this thing is pretty rounded. Okay, and that it left these grooves, like the twisting marks on there to get it out. And I've never really found out how much torque one of these would take, but I think you could, it's pretty good. So that's how you get a rounded bolt off. Now this is, I'll show you another thing that these things will do, which is pretty cool. Like, I don't know if you guys run across socket head cap screws a lot, or I'm not 100% sure, but I think the triple squares are kind of similar in how they work. They're going to be recessed, and you can round those off. Even Torx bits, I don't know if these would work on regular, like a flathead screw. I've never really tried it, but I don't know. It's got to be, I think it's got to have a little raise so you can get over it. But like when you're working on these things, if you break your Allen off in there or whatever, then it's sometimes like this will get pretty mangled up, and then it fucking keeps the Allen part that's broke in there getting out, and you have to get a magnet to get it out, or sometimes like it's really hard to drill hardened tools out of bolts with drills, because it'll want to walk on you really bad, and then you end up just fucking drilling the side of the bolt off. But you know what I'm saying? So if you ever, you can use these turbo sockets, and you can beat it on the outside of the socket head cap screw, or whatever type of screw that you're working on there, and you can see that you can get it off. So it's just another easier way of pounding out, removing bolts, if you will. And these things are pretty trick, and what they do. As you can see again, it scratches up the fastener, and obviously you want to get a new fastener, but it just shows you that you can, use it for different purposes on getting bolts out, like on calipers or whatever you might be working on when you round it off. Usually, it's easier to round stuff off when it's kind of seized in there or whatever, or somebody got really excited with the Loctite and Loctited the piss out of this thing. So those are some of the advantages of turbo sockets. I really like them. I have them just because I run into a lot of rusty bolts, and so I thought these would be a good idea to have. What part of the country we live in, we have a bunch of salt and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd explain to you how these turbo sockets worked. I hope it helps you out. You know what I'm saying? This is part of something that you probably need to get. So, alrighty, thank you for today, guys.